Hey guys, the question that we're going to attempt to answer today is, what are the best practices for law firms to build and maintain a strong online reputation? So this is super important online for every law firm. A friend of mine who owns a law firm came to me. We're friends, we play golf together. And he came to me one day and he said that they have this lawsuit against them, and it's been written up in a few legal journals, and one in particular was showing up very high when anybody even searched for the firm's name. So obviously that has a negative impact on clients retaining them, because right before somebody's going to retain you, they Google you. And then for this law firm, they were seeing this result, which was a page about this lawsuit against them. So they were asking me about this recently, and I thought it was a timely question to answer, which is how to maintain and build a strong online reputation. So there's two major things here to look out for, two dangers or pitfalls. One is if somebody publishes something about you in a reputable or not so reputable, but online, and the page then ranks for your name. So they've optimized it, or they have at least your name in the title and throughout the content. And so when people search your name, it comes up pretty high up in the rankings for your name, like we said. The second thing is negative reviews. So we're going to try to address how to handle both of these situations. The first one needs to be handled preemptively, and then there are things you can do if that occurs and what to do after it and how to handle it afterwards. So first of all, to protect your brand, you really want to be listed on as many high authority websites and directories as you possibly can. Not just legal directories like Justia and lawyers.avo, but also on business directories and local directories. So these sites, there are hundreds of these sites that allow you to post your content for free, at least have a profile with a link back to your website. And these websites are already very authoritative. Their domains have tons and tons of links, other websites that refer to them. They have television and radio advertising, so they have a lot of traffic. So these websites are already very authoritative. So when you want to control the narrative around your brand name, and this is how you do it. If somebody searches for your name, you want to own as many properties that come up as possible. Yes, you won't always be able to avoid a negative article that comes up on a very authoritative news site or legal review site, but you will be able to thwart any negative press on these lower authority sites if you already own your name and profile on dozens and dozens, even hundreds of other sites, so that you can crowd out the noise. You can crowd out the search results with your information, and then sites and profiles that you control. So that's, first of all, build out as many as you can and fill them out as completely as you can, and even post them regularly if you have the time or the resources, just to build out these authoritative properties around your world. You want to build this strong ecosystem around your website so that you control the narrative around your brand. Also, you don't want other people possibly claiming your brand name on these other authority sites, which they can do on some. On many they can. They don't need to show credentials that they are actually the owner or anything like that. On these blogging sites like WordPress.com, anybody could open those in your name, and once they're claimed, that's gone forever. You don't have that name, so you want to make sure that you own everything around your brand name. And when something comes up where somebody publishes something negative about your firm, my advice is there's nothing you could do to take that listing or that page down. That just doesn't happen. The best case scenario would be to crowd out that, to get ahead of it, to either publish a response, not to hide from it, but to publish your own response so that you're ranking for these types of things, or just to publish other information about your brand so that you can crowd this out and push it down in those search results. But very important to have that done beforehand, just so you have a strong presence ahead of time so that you can avoid a lot of these things that come up preemptively. Next is reviews. So I want you to always be getting reviews, positive reviews, especially on Google, but everywhere you can on the web, but focused on Google. And I want you to reply to every single review, even if it's a thank you, but I would like you to mention your brand name in the reply, mention the case type and any keywords without overdoing it in the reply itself. And you want to reply in a timely fashion, and you want to reply to every single review. If it's a negative review, if it's a legitimate negative review, I would also reply. Before you reply, see if they'll get it taken down. See if they'll take it down, and the person that wrote it, if you can contact them, see if they can take it down. That's before you reply to that. If they're not going to take it down, you still want to reply to it. You don't want to hide from it. If it's not legitimate, if it's somebody that wasn't a client or a competitor or something like that, don't reply to it. You want to flag that as if it's not appropriate, they weren't a client, it's not relevant. And if enough people in your office flag it, a lot of times Google will take that down as inappropriate or not relevant. All right, so those are the two major things. One is directories and owning your brand online, everywhere online, especially on the most powerful sites on the internet, and replying to every single review. And there are a few things in there that you can do to take down negative reviews if they were not legitimate. All right, guys, this is Nick Kringas with the Trusted Law Firm podcast. Thank you for watching. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.